Hello, my name's Jeff Rolka. Thank you very much for checking out my video. This is what I'm going to call a roadmap video. It is a breathing compendium, if you will. Had someone on YouTube ask me about getting a video together of all the different tips and tricks and stuff that I do to work on breath control. And so what I'm going to do here is collect them all in a general sense, tell you what they are, what they do, and where you can find them on the channel so that you can get into some exercises and practice with them. So this isn't really a practice video, it's a roadmap, and it will help you find where you can do this stuff. So I'm going to go as quickly as I can here and keep it moving, and without any further ado, hissing. Hissing is one of those entry-level kind of airflow things that we do, but it can also be really, really good if you're checking on how you're phrasing things. So for example, when I say hiss, there's no pitch. It's just a gauge of how you are moving air. Now, if we want to add pitch to it, generally speaking, use a Z sound. So you could go and you heard that midstream I changed to zzz. And the goal is to keep the airflow as similar as you can while accommodating the different vowel sound that you're using and also the range that you're singing in. I picked a very comfortable range. You could just as easily do that in an upper range for yourself. And I'll put a link on screen for some exercises that you can use along with that. Next up is a time-honored airflow technique, and that is called the lip trill, sometimes referred to as the bubble, and that is I use my hand there, and if you're a beginner with the lip trill, the fingers help to take a bit of the weight off of the lips and teeth so that it makes it a little bit easier to do it. You can also do this without your hand. And also, if the lips are proving problematic, you can roll your tongue. They're all about the same level of difficulty. Some people struggle with one or the other. Again, if you're new to the lip trill, I think fingers gently lifting helps a little bit. Okay? And with a lip trill, don't be discouraged if it doesn't happen automatically. It can take a little bit of time. Now, I have a super lip trill that I'm very, very fond of, and I find this particularly helpful if you are moving into your upper register because airflow and consistency of airflow is so important. And for the super lip trill, you pinch and pull. And I would recommend you start with just some sirens for starters. You will feel quite a lot of abdominal engagement when you start using the super lip trill. I'm really fond of it because I feel like it really has a way of amping up our airflow in a very positive way and can be very informative about how much more energy we can use abdominally to support the air column and support the vocal fold. Now, the next set of exercises start very simply with he. But the thing is that it's a short syllable and a short inhalation. He. And I think that these are some of the best bang for your buck airflow and engagement exercises that I have ever come across. Because not only are you required to be engaged and get a really nice clean articulation, but in taking the breath, you have to retain more engagement abdominally and expand laterally to get the air without disengaging. And so that means that you get a much more efficient inhalation and a more efficient turnaround to the next tonal onset. So you're very quickly going from exhalation, he, to inhalation, to exhalation, he, back and forth, back and forth. We get to practice our tonal onsets a lot with this exercise. He. And as you get better with that, you turn into a triplet. He. The thing with that one is that it must be even. If it starts to get like it's slurred together, hee 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 hee, you're not retaining enough abdominal engagement to make those articulations clean, and so you need to address that. Beyond that, you start getting into 16th notes. And I recommend you keep this in a comfortable range. Okay, you can use it in the context of some range expansion in a way that I'll show you in a moment. But for starters, nice and middle of the road, middle ground, comfortable register for your voice. Now, when you couple that with some scalar patterns, you can really learn to take really efficient breaths in a short period of time. You can also learn to top up very quickly. So what I like to do is he 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 There's no big space to breathe in there. So all those short little breaths that you're taking have to be able to get you good clean articulations on the short notes, get you through the ascending descending scale and back into the short notes again with enough air left over so that you're not tapped out and you're allowing the ribcage to collapse. Okay, so those are the he exercises, and those I used those in the new warm-ups that I just did for male and female vocals, and I'm really excited about how they work with the rest of the video. I'd highly encourage you to take a look at those and give them a shot. Lastly, and this is a tip I've never shared outside of my private studio, although I don't think it's a really big deal, is to use a latex band. This is just your standard, I don't know if it's like if they use it like in CrossFit or something like that, or yoga or something like that, but it's an elastic band. It's stretchy. This happens to be one of the higher tension ones. And what I do with it is that with the Apogeo breath management system, you got to find your hard ribs. They're a little higher up here. And we tie the strap around, and this is breath management, yes, and engagement, but it's also just good housekeeping. So if I relax my rib cage, there's me at rest. And when I get ready to sing, you can see how I expand laterally through there. My shoulders stay down, but this expands, okay? And that means that these abdominal muscles are going to lift and engage with the diaphragm, which is going to press down against them to create that suspension, that engagement that we need to have proper airflow. And what the strap does is that by tightening it a little bit, it gives me really, really good feedback as to whether or not I'm staying open. So I can feel myself collapsing as I'm talking here. And I can re-engage, and when I sing, I make it a point to keep pressing outwards with my rib cage so that these muscles lift towards the diaphragm. And this strap gives me that little bit of pressure that tells me, yes, Jeff, you're staying open, you're staying engaged, you're keeping the ribs open throughout the phrase. And then I take my breath and I keep going. So the goal is to keep that engagement and that openness consistent. And then I can relax and let it all come down. So there you have it, a roadmap to a lot of the exercises that you can do on the channel. The strap, you can strap into that any time and use it with a warm-up or any of the technical exercises, sustained pitches, or the intervallic stuff. Again, that's just a reminder thing, but it is focused on engagement and airflow. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Thank you very much. If you have questions, drop them in the comments section and I will get back to you just as soon as I possibly can. If you've chosen to subscribe, I thank you very much. If you haven't yet, I'd really like to encourage you to do so. There's a link on screen now. And lastly, if you're interested in getting a consultation or some lessons with me, either in person or via Skype, you can click on the link now and we can get in touch and talk about it. Thanks one more time for watching. Take really good care of your voices, enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again.